Okay guys, so this is the second half. So if you guys found the first video, or if you haven't found the first video about the special guest I have on my YouTube channel, his name is Parnell Johnson. I met him in the gym. Freaking genius, special human being, amazing heart. And he's been helping me understand how to make a connection to my own musculoskeletal system, which is very important. I think a lot of us don't really make that connection. We're just not. We're not using, like, you know, as far as if you're squatting beyond, let's say a 45-degree angle, or if you're 90, and if your upper quad area is not parallel to the ground. But I'm gonna have Parnell Johnson. So if you guys are catching him, I'm gonna have him explain a proper squat. And then I want to talk about the book that he has written. It's all ready to go, and I really want you guys to get in contact with him to get this book, because if I'm learning something from it, then you guys know that you'll learn something as well. You'll get a lot out of his book. So, Parnell, can you explain just a proper squat and what you find in people doing an improper squat?
Okay, well, first of all, I would like to say a proper squat is just simply explained when you at the end of your eccentric motion or relaxation stage, your quadriceps should be parallel to the ground, not past that.
Why is
and
that?
Not short of that.
Why?
Because if you have weights on your shoulder, which by the way, the bar should be resting on the spine of your scapula. The spine of your scapula, this is your scapula or your shoulder blades.
Right.
I'm sorry. The top is called the spine. The top of your shoulder blades is called the spine. So if anybody feels right around the back where the top of their shoulder blade is, you feel a little recess right there. That's where that bar should be sitting.
So now we're talking in the context of weighted squats.
Okay,
so
yes.
People are doing like barbell squats, for example.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now the thing with barbell squats, when you go down, I think I have an illustration here. When you go down with squats, okay, you want your chest inside your knees and your knees inside your toes.
Okay.
Your back stays arched throughout, right? Do not go past 90 degrees.
You're just gonna have to excuse, because we're on Hollywood Boulevard, as you can see. But I'm pretty sure that I have the camera close enough to Parnell so you guys can hear what he's saying.
All right. So then beside that, the reason I said don't go down too far is because once you pass 90 degrees, you're going to involve muscles. I mean, you're going to involve, number one, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I just want people to see the images.
Right.
Okay.
And if you go too low, what you're going to do is turn it from a pull exercise to a push exercise. You do not want to push against weight when you squat.
So you don't want to push as you're going down. You want to push as you're going up.
No, you don't want to push at all. When you come up, right. Remember, squats is a pull exercise.
Gotcha.
Do it on your pull days. Anytime you pull weight to you, you're working your back. Anytime you push weight away from you, you're working your front. When I say squats is a pull exercise, when you get to the end of your eccentric motion, you should be able to pull yourself up. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is your eccentric motion.
Eccentric. So this is where you're not contracting. Yeah.
Right, even though you wouldn't be using a chair, never put anything behind you.
So you would not be using a chair, he's saying, because you're not, in this context, when you're just dropping, you're not using
your hamstrings, your semimembrosus, semitendinosus, and your biceps femoris. Your hamstrings are supposed to control when you sit down, and that's the problem most Americans have.
What is it?
When they sit down, they sit down like this.
They flop into the chair.
Yes, and it's your load bearer, whether you realize it or not. You're blowing your knees out like that. That's why so many people. Yes. So when you sit down, it's supposed to be a controlled motion.
Which is hamstring. So then the concentric would be quads.
That would be right. But they're your prime mover in squats. your prime movers are your quadriceps. And when you're coming up in your concentric motion or against your weight, you want to pull yourself up. You do not want to.
Like you said, you want your quadricep parallel to the ground.
Yes.
So instead of going, so that's 90 degree. You don't want to go past 90 degrees.
Right, because then you won't be pulling yourself. You'll be pushing yourself against that weight.
And that's what we don't want. So you're not.
Right.
So when it comes to the muscle response, then you won't be pulling yourself. You'll be pushing yourself.
No, as far as the squats coming up with them,
yeah.
No, you'll be pulling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
Yourself.
Because if you push yourself, if you don't mind me showing you, you have your lumbar section can't take it. Please give me a minute. I just want to show you the diagram of
absolutely
your spinal. I'm sorry if I can't.
We'll get it. Everybody knows that my videos they're like guerrilla style.
Yeah, but the reason I'm looking for it because I think it's important.
Okay.
This is your lumbar curve. Okay, you have 33 joints in your back, 24 of them are movable, 9 are not.
Yes.
Your lumbar vertebrae, if you look at the lumbar curve, is most susceptible to load bearing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. This is the immovable joints.
Right. These are the sacral and coxal region.
Exactly.
So all your weight, when you're coming down or you're pushing up, you don't want to push this weight against any weight. You see what I'm saying? If you look at your other curves, they will never load bear like that lumbar section does.
Exactly.
That lumbar section is right about in the middle of your body. And it's believe me, if you pick up the wrong weight or push against the wrong weight, you will pay severe price for that one.
So what's when you're at the gym and you're watching these guys squat, what are the main things that you see that are problematic?
Well, a lot of times, number one, I see people placing things. Well, first of all, let me say this. Do not take your shoes off when you're squatting. You're in a gym. Never walk around a gym with flip-flops. Safety first.
Yes.
Never walk around a gym with flip-flops and take your shoes off to squat. And you're being silly. You're being silly. You're not being safe.
Okay.
Always keep protective covering on your feet.
Okay.
Okay. Also, beside that, when you see people putting things under their heel, and you're going to mess up the curve of your spine.
So this is very interesting. I see a lot of people putting things under their heel.
No,
a lot.
Flat. As a matter of fact, when it comes to buying shoes, buy shoes as flat and comfortable as possible.
Okay.
You don't want any raise in the heel or the toe of your foot. You're going to mess up the alignment of your spine.
So this plumb line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another reason that I could say real quick, and I don't have a diagram to show you, is when you squat. Once you put something under your heels, you're involving a muscle shouldn't be involved, and that's called your gastrocnemius, or your calf. You don't use your calf to squat. You use your soleus. And your soleus is the muscle, if you don't mind me showing you.
No, absolutely, show us.
Your soleus is this is your gastrocnemius, or your calf. You have the long head to short head. This muscle right here is called the soleus. This is the reason why you don't fall flat on your face. But when you squat, you're strictly using the soleus to stand up. You're not using the gastrocnemius. If you put something, look, you see that? That by you putting something under your foot, you're activating your gastrocnemius. You shouldn't do that. It's not used to squat at all.
You guys need to listen to this. This is like the best information ever.
Well, thank you very much. But it's just a thing, I'm just a big stickler on safety first and not hurting yourself in the gym. And a lot of times, see, back in the days, the biggest guy used to run the gym. Until they found out the biggest guy is either cheating or it's genetic. And nowadays, a lot of what they was advocating still goes, but it's not correct. So once somebody knows proper technique, kinesiology, and I would say it's very important to learn about your body.
Absolutely.
I mean, not just hearsay, especially now with the vast resources for information. It's like
It's not hard,
learn
people.
about your body.
Absolutely.
You could, if you hear a name that you're not familiar, you could Google it.
You can Google it.
Yeah, you
Times
can
have
Google a
changed,
muscle.
right?
Yes. So it's like I would, you know, if I didn't know something that I really needed to, because once, especially back exercises, you mess up, you're kind of out the game. You know what I'm saying? When you mess up, you do a back exercise incorrectly, deadlift incorrectly, you're kind of out the game.
So what's the common injuries that you see coming from improper squats, weighted squats?
Well, the reason for the injuries, I can't say which the most common are, but the reason for any injury is not knowing the difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding.
What's that?
Weightlifting is picking up extreme weight. Bodybuilding is resistance training, activating the sliding filament theory, and you know, et cetera, nutrition, et cetera. It's more, like I said, it's a knowledgeable workout. It's not about who's the strongest or who's the. You want results. You wanna definitely utilize morphology. You know, you don't have to when you're doing resistance training. I would recommend that if it was up to me, I would tell somebody you don't have to burn the calories off. You could take them from here and put them here. You could put your weight where you. That's what's great about this. You can take your weight and put it where you want it. That's morphology.
It's morphology.
Yeah, it's cool.
So can we see the cover of your book?
Sure
I want you
can.
guys to see before I run out of time, because you guys know I can do 15 minutes at a time. So this is Parnell's book, right? He's 57 years old, and he created this book. It's following his workout routine, and he's just a badass mother sucker. Like, he's so knowledgeable that I want you guys to be able to access this amazing book and this amazing mind, right?
Thank you.
Yes, because with knowledge you have infinite power, or empowerment. So what is your email so people can get in contact with you to get this fantastic book?
All right.
I've got one, you guys. You need to get one.
Well, thank you very much. And first of all, before I do that, I'd like to say, when it's done safely and correctly, you're going to feel better leaving the gym than when you first came in. And that's always a desired goal or desired effect. Okay, my email is P as in Paul, O, N, 2 N's as in Nelson, ELL, so that's PONNELLJ @gmail.com.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to put that in the show notes below. So look below, and I will write his email. I just wanted you guys to hear it again one more time. What is your email?
Okay, ParnellJ @gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Yes.
And then, like I said, it will be in the show notes. And then I want you guys to support his book that he just put out himself. And it's amazing. It's got a lot of great information in it. Everything that he was explaining in these last two videos, if you guys are catching, this is the second half. If you guys are catching the second video, this one, then look for the first video. You can go to Stephanie Keto Person on my YouTube page and check out both videos where Parnell explains how the body works and really how to use this information so when you go and do your workout, you can maximize your connection between mind, spirit, and body.
Right, but I also want to say to never stop learning, because my meeting Stephanie has opened my mind to things that I did not know. And this is, because I'm always, listen, if you get better at anything, get better at self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when I hear something to make me a better person physically, mentally, spiritually, et cetera, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
And you're interviewing me, but I want to take this time to thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. My
Right.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Well, you made me see a lot of things in retrospect. And like I said, sometimes when you think you know it all, that means you don't know anything.
That's right.
You know?
You got to keep your mind open. We're always evolving. We're always learning.
And it's been a plus to know you. And yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, so again, I want you to check out his book. This is a book right here, and I will again put it in the show notes below. Peace out.